What am I even talking about? If you don't work hard and you convince yourself that you don't care, then you're not gonna do well. And that's that. Okay, boys, well, mostly ladies, welcome back to episode 2 of the University Survival Guide. If you haven't seen the first one, I will link it down below in case you're interested. Today we are going to be talking more about grades, profs, and classes, and just overall things that I think you might need to hear if you want to truly succeed in university or college or wherever you're going. I'll put the times to skip to each section that I decide to put in somewhere on screen. I know that obviously we all care about our grades and our GPA because we want to do well. So I know this will be a super important video and I hope it helps a lot of you. So I'm going to put some resources in the description for you because they might explain things better than me. With that being said, make sure you subscribe and like this video because we're almost at 100 and I don't know what to do with myself. Anyways, let's just get right into the video. So first, I think it's really important to talk about your overall mindset and attitude towards school. I truly believe, and what I've learned from personal experience, that your mindset is absolutely everything. Think about it this way. I had a class that I absolutely hated, but I loved all of my other classes. And in all of my other classes, I did well, and I managed to actually get the grades that I wanted. But in this one class, I did not care about the prof. Not care about the content. It was a 9 a.m. so I slept through the lectures, not actually, but like I wanted to. And overall, I just established from day one that this was the worst course I would ever take in university, and that really took a toll on the outcome because my final grade was not exactly where I wanted it to be. This kind of coincides with my second point, being that you need to put in the effort to see the results. Because if you do the work and you have a good mindset, then that means you're gonna get the results that you want. If you don't work hard and you convince yourself that you don't care, then you're not gonna do well. And that's that. Next, I want to just point out some very general tips that are going to help you a lot. And for the first tip, I'm going to be brutally honest. You need to expect your grades to drop anywhere between 10 to 15% from what they were in high school. Now, this might not be the case for everybody, obviously, but you just can't go into your first year of university or college thinking that you're gonna get 95s like you did in high school. I think that doing this and going in with that expectation, I don't mean to do it to scare you. I just think that it can be really shocking that when you get to university and you see a 70, you think that's bad. Like honestly, if you're getting 70s in university in your first year, like that's good. So don't get too hard on yourself because your grades are going to drop. This next one might be pretty obvious, but I'm gonna say it anyway, just in case. Never, ever, ever get someone else to write your essay for you. Ever. Don't pay anybody. Don't get a friend to do it. Save your money, save your time, and save yourself from failing and just do the essay. Because profs have a really high education, so they're obviously going to be able to tell if you paid someone off a website to do your essay. Okay, so another thing you can do is to join a study group. There will always be posters around campus about study groups, whether it's at your college or just within your program. You'll also get emails from your faculty, which is just whatever you're majoring in, about potential study groups and research opportunities to further expand your knowledge in whatever it is that you're studying. Always look out for those and make sure you check your email because email is how you receive all your information, so check your email. This part I feel like is the most important part of the video because now we're going to get into classes and your profs. I cannot stress this enough. Choose your classes based on your prof. Not the time, not if your friends are taking it, even though like that'll help you get through it. I'm telling you, the prof will make or break the class, and a good prof can make any subject sound interesting. So for example, if there's a 9 a.m. with a really, really good prof, but a class at like 3 p.m. with a really bad prof, choose the 9 a.m. with the really good prof. Don't just pick the 3 p.m. because you want to sleep or whatever. It doesn't matter if you're a morning person. I'm telling you, based on personal experience, your prof matters. It will literally make or break the class for you. So a good way to find good profs or compare profs, sometimes two profs will teach the same course that's available, but it'll just be at different times, or maybe even the same time or different days or whatever. So what you're going to want to do is use Rate My Prof. Rate My Prof is a great way to just search up any profs, look at student reviews, because they're real students that tell you the review of the prof and how good they were, and just even at the top I think there's like an overall rating of the prof and how likely students would be to take their course again. Definitely make use of Rate My Prof and do your research when it comes to course selection time. So I'm going to put a link to the Rate My Prof website, but if you just Google Rate My Prof, you will definitely find it. It's so easy to navigate. I'll put that in the description alongside the dates where you can select your courses, whether you're a first year, second year, third year, or fourth year student, because I feel like that'll be super helpful. So all that will be linked down below. Another thing about profs is that not all of them are scary. They seem super intimidating because they're teaching a class of like 500 or more kids, depending on how big your class is. Profs are not always scary. Most of the time, they really just want you to come to their office hours because no one shows up. If you have a good prof, then you'll have a good mindset and you'll want to do well, and then you'll see the grades that you want, which is basically the entire point of this video. This next one might seem a little bit intimidating, but honestly, go to office hours, whether it's with your TA or with your prof. They're there to help you, and chances are they're always available because no one ever goes to office hours. A lot of them will be willing to like proofread your work or help you with anything that you're struggling with. TAs, on the other hand, are a bit of a different story. TAs are either going to be hit or miss. TAs are usually just upper year students doing their master's or their PhD in whatever it is that you are studying, so they're basically experts on what you're doing, so that's why they can help you. I was lucky in my first year and I had pretty good TAs for the most part. Like, I had really good TAs, except for this one TA that was like, we're not talking about it. But for the most part, you'll get lucky with a good TA. They're always willing to like answer your questions via email or willing to meet up with you because your TAs will have office hours as well. So if you're struggling, make use of office hours. Lastly, we're going to talk about majors, minors, and requirements. Generally, UofT has like what we call breadth requirements, which means there's like 5 different categories and you have to have a course in, I think, 4 out of the 5 categories, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to put a link to this down below because it'll explain it better than I ever could. But basically, you just need to make sure you fulfill your breadth requirements before you graduate, otherwise you can't graduate. Make sure you do that and make sure you check that out because that's important information. Other universities might have like different requirements, but at UofT they're called breadth requirements. I don't know why I'm going like this, that's what they're actually called. And as for your major and your minor, there's a whole list of majors and minors on one of the UofT websites, which I will also link down below, that you can check out and see what's required in your first year and any prerequisites you're going to need going forward once you claim your major at the end of first year. Because if you haven't met those requirements to claim your major or your minor or whatever it is, then you won't get into the program that you want, unless you're already accepted into something like engineering, kin, or architecture. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the video. Those are all the tips or things that I thought you might need to know going into first year. Hopefully they helped you, and if they did, let me know down below. Also, if you have any other questions, be sure to ask them so I can answer them. As usual, if you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time I decide to film one of these.